I'm here with Rosemary Holbrook. Super exciting to have you here with me, Rosemary. Welcome.
Thanks. I'm excited too.
Yeah. So you are the founder of Yogi Yogi Scopes?
Yogi Scopes. Yep.
Yogi Scopes. So you'll tell us more about that in a moment.
Well,
But Rosemary is a recent graduate. So she actually joined the program in February. So this very year. So just tell us, how long have you been teaching? Like, what does your business look like before you joined the program?
okay, so I have been teaching since 2017. I was probably doing yoga for like 10 years before that. And then I went to teacher training because, and this is a common thread that I hear with a lot of people, because I went through like a dark time in my life and I was kind of at a crossroads and I was like, well, I've always loved yoga. I'll go to teacher training while I figure it out, while I figure out what I want to do. And then it just grew from there. Like I just became a full-time teacher, but I was doing I was teaching in gyms. I was teaching in, just like everywhere that I could, just group classes.
Yeah.
And in 2019, my first kid was born. And so then and I pretty much was like getting off of maternity leave when the whole world shut down. So it was hard to teach group classes because I had a very small kid and quarantine and all this stuff. And so the seed was kind of planted then that I wanted to start taking my business online. So I started my podcast, which is Yogi Scopes podcast.
Yeah.
And I was at that with the plan. Like I started the podcast of like, I want to build this online business. And I'm just like a cart before the horse kind of person. Like I was like, I'm just going to do it and I'll figure it out. But I've been podcasting for a long time. And it wasn't until this year that I started to like make any money at it. Like I was just kind of like doing it for free, mostly for the time it took me. So I still teach in person, but basically like, I didn't know what I was doing when it came to like running an online business before like this year and this course.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And what made you want to take it online?
So I mean, my kid, so like having a kid,
Yeah.
and I just always like, I don't know, I'm like an ambitious person and I like wanted more from my career than just running around teaching group classes forever, because also that's hard on the body. Like that's, it's just not a sustainable. I'm like entrepreneurial at heart to start with. So
Yeah.
I knew running an online business was right for me, but I also like I've run businesses before and been part of other businesses, and it's different. Like I've learned a lot this year, and from your course, like it has helped a lot. So yeah.
Sure. So tell us about your community, and did you with the Yogi Scopes, obviously you work, it's astrology, right? So it's bringing together yoga and astrology. Talk to us a little bit more about that, and how has that evolved? Like, had it already been established, or did it evolve more as you've kind of been in the program?
Yeah, it's always evolving, but it was the premise I think was established, but a large driving force for me joining the program was like, I'm not clear on my niche. Like I'm not clear. I had surveyed the audience before, but I was just like, I don't know who are my listeners. Like what is my niche? And so that was like a large factor in me joining the course. But anyway, I knew I wanted to pair yoga and astrology because I love astrology and I love yoga. And ever since I started teaching, like I've always loved both since I was like a teenager kid, and when I started teaching, I themed my classes around the seasons and the new and full moons, which a lot of yoga teachers do. And learned about Vedic astrology. And I just went on this big journey of like, well, why is everybody not using Vedic astrology? So that was kind of a large driving force behind starting the podcast too, because I was like, I want more people to know about Vedic astrology and how it works better if you're going to sequence your classes and stuff. So that's actually a lot of the niche work I've done as a result of this course was like, it turns out, well, I don't know, it's still, I've surveyed my audience again. So I'm kind of like through this stuff. I surveyed them again like this week, like last week. And I'm closing the survey this week. And it turns out there's 60-40 like yoga teachers to not yoga teachers in my audience. So that's like, it's a thing. It's been evolving all year. Like early on in the course, I was like, I think it's yoga teachers that I'm talking to. I think they're the ones that are interested. And so I was working through a lot of mindset blocks around that. Like, who am I to like teach other yoga teachers? Like, I don't feel like I've been doing this that long, but I kind of have. Like, I meet a lot of yoga teachers that just started in the last year, and I've been teaching for like 6 or 7 years now. Yeah, so it's evolving, and I'm learning actually now. I started out with my course. I was like, I'm just going to direct this at yoga teachers, and it's helped me grow my audience tremendously doing that niche work. And now I'm also learning that I can still kind of serve both audiences. I can serve just people who are not yoga teachers who are interested in the healing practices, and yoga teachers that want to learn how to do what I do. So that's kind of how it's evolving, is like, but I think the niche work of like, I'm going to call out yoga teachers helped me find that clarity, basically.
Amazing. And I love how you've recognized that it is evolving, and you can still put out surveys. It's never just a one-off thing. Like, you always need to be listening to your community as you start to grow it. Who's coming in? Like, who's really connecting to that message that you're putting out there? So that's really amazing. So in terms of then offerings, tell us about that, because you have had a launch, you have made some money. So tell us like how that has happened and how it came about.
So again, I'm like a cart before the horse person. Like, I'm always doing stuff before I'm like ready. So that's just me. But I launched the course before I was even done with the profitable yoga teacher. I was just like, I think I'm ready. Like, I think I was like, the niche work was the main thing. I'm just going to put it out there because I want to. It's like on my heart. I want to do it. So I launched the course in May. I got paid to create it, which is awesome. Like, I hadn't built it yet. I just had the idea. And so I got paid to create it. And it went
by that?
well.
Like, by that, you got
like people signed up for it before I had any of the. I had an outline, and people signed up, and you
sold it before you sold it before you even launched it.
Which is
love this.
Yeah,
I love this.
It's like,
you're like doing it before you're ready.
I'm like a jump in kind of person. I'm like, I'll figure it out as I go. Which I could probably stand to be a little bit more like prepared before I do stuff, but it's working for me. So
no, it's the right approach. Actually, it's great.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, that's the real kind of founding members strategy, isn't it? It's like the beta testing, putting it out there.
I think like, so to speak to the profitable yoga teacher, the niche work and the mindset work were what allowed me to do that. Like, it was the mind, because it's like, I had the same stuff. Like, am I like imposter syndrome? Like, am I qualified to teach this? Who am I to teach this kind of stuff? And so I found a lot of that mindset stuff really helped. Like, that's what helped me be able to feel confident. Like, no, I can do this. Like, I got this. And so I did. And so I had a membership I still have a membership, and I'm actually gearing up to relaunch that for the end of the year. But so basically that's what I had to take a step back and like focus on the course for a little while. And so basically the course is meant for yoga teachers that want to learn to become a Vedic astrologer so that they can give readings, and so that it's like a sequencing course to some degree. It's a lot more Vedic astrology content, and how to give readings, but it's like also to help you sequence your classes around it. But then my membership is more for the other 40% of my audience that's not yoga teachers, doesn't care about sequencing classes around Vedic astrology, but they do want to use Vedic astrology as a healing practice. And for maybe people that have graduated the course, and like they can just kind of piggyback off the work I'm doing. Like, I'm going to feed them like, here's upcoming astrology stuff, and they can use that, and it's helpful to them, so they don't have to like do the work twice, basically, of like coming up with all the astrology stuff. So I have those two, and I still do one-on-ones like readings, but my main like core offerings are those two things to serve sort of two factors of my audience.
Okay. So the course that you put out there that you basically sold before you created, is that the one that you made $1,500 on? Is that right?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. Okay. So you put it out there to your community that you were doing this, and then what was the process for actually then launching it?
So
any challenges, or did you do anything like that? Any launch activity?
I didn't. I did a super simple launch. I sent maybe 10 emails, probably less than that.
Right.
And I kind of wanted to keep it.
And how many people on your email list?
Oh, so okay, here's the thing. When I started the course, I think I had like 300, and now I'm breaking 1,000 right now. Like, amazing. So, and that's in a few months. And so that's like I said, I started my business like in 2020. So I've been at this for a while, and I
Yeah.
just wasn't getting traction, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, and so 300 people over like 3 years, and then, 700 people over the last 6 months is like,
Oh, that's incredible. Well done. So that's from like sharing your freebies. Have you done any kind of like collaborations or partnership work?
Not really. So I used to do that more, actually. I've been scaling that back because I've been working so hard on developing the course and taking this course, but I'm planning to get back into it in January. But I think it's like my content just started to land more because of also the content work, like the work around like what kind of content should I be creating and how can I make my message land more. And clearly that worked because it's just taken off. You know what I mean? And I've been doing the podcast for a while.
When you launched the course, can you remember how many people you had on your email at that point?
I want to say it was like 350.
Right. Okay. So it's pretty early on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
And it's a pretty high priced offering. So
what price is it?
It's 50. So I had one person pay to enroll, and I gave away one spot for my first enrollment.
Okay. This is amazing.
I was like, I just need to get this out there.
$1,500 course.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I had one and that seems like not that much, like, oh,
I love you. This is brilliant. You're just
but I'm like, but I got the feedback I needed. I got testimonials. I got the course created. It's out there. And now I've had for my next launch that's coming in January, I have so many people that are telling me they're like ready for this and they want this and they're like ready for me to start the next enrollment. So yeah. And so my email list is also just taken off in the meantime. So that's why I'm like,
exactly.
Okay.
This is there. Yeah. So right in the very beginning, you were like, I'm going balls in, not messing around. You got someone to sign up before you'd even created it. You were creating a course that's $1,500, right? In the Profitable Yoga Teacher, we're encouraging you to create something that's $500, and you went in at $1,500, which is brilliant. And now in the meantime, so you've managed to go through that, create all the content. And then in the meantime, you've been building your email list, and you're planning now a launch in January with an email list of over 1,000, right? Around 1,000.
Yeah. It's like,
well done.
I was at like 970 yesterday, and I'm at the point where I'm getting like multiple opt-ins a day. You know what I mean? Like, and
you know what this is, Rosemary? This is imperfect action in action, right? This is like being messy, not being afraid, like putting things out there, getting some results, maybe getting no results, but like putting things out there and moving forward because you've got that goal. And it's absolutely incredible. It's the right attitude to have. So well done, you. Well done. Well done. And so how do you feel about like the future? Like, think, I don't know, a year from now, like, what does it kind of look like to you?
I think it's going to be a lot better because also, so that $1,500, that one enrollment doesn't sound like a lot, but she signed up on a monthly plan, and that was able to replace one of my in-person podcasts and consume free content, and I'm smart, I can figure it out. Like, that's kind of my approach. And it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't work for me. Like, I was not really making money before this year, and it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like, it seems like a big investment, but it's worth it, like, to invest in yourself, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for this journey that you're on. And thank you for being you and for taking all of that action and doing all the things. And yeah, only more good things are going to come your way for sure. So thank you for being part of this community as well. And like, I always love hearing about the accountability pods that like continue beyond the actual 6 months. They're still happening. People, you know, I've got friends that they're meeting up with and everything. It's so amazing to hear. So well done. And thank you for being like an active member of the community.
Yeah, I'm planning to stick around. I'm like, you know, if you can continue to offer the challenge, I'm like, it helps me to even hear the mindset stuff again. Like I was saying, it's all iterative. I'm happy to be a part of this community of people who like are of similar goals, because the people in my local community are not, there's not that much. So it's helpful to have that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. I'll see you there. Thank you. Lots of love. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. See you.